doing tonight? Mic stand's gonna beat me in front of you guys here. But anyway, how's that weather been? How everybody been enjoying that weather the past couple days, huh? Little spring teaser. I hope you guys like it, because winter's coming for that ass next week, alright? Don't forget, we live in the Northeast. This winter was pretty brutal though, wasn't it? Pretty brutal, you know, pretty tough. Anybody notice this big wave, that giant wave of baby announcements this past spring? This past winter, excuse me? It's a pandemic within the pandemic, if you ask me. Everybody out there becoming parents, grandparents, and out there becoming bitter. It's wild. I mean, like, you know, you see, I'm at that age where, you know, it's starting to become societally acceptable to, you know, have kids, like, on fucking purpose, you know, and I'm just not, I'm having a hard time adjusting, you know, like, my entire life, teens, early 20s now, you know, I see a pregnancy post and I'm like, oh, shit. Well, that's gonna change their plans, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it's tough, it sucks, you know, but like, you know, I'm coming around to it, you know, I'm coming around to it, you know. Speaking of which, my girlfriend and I, we just got a dog this past quarantine, so hooray for me, hooray for dogs. You know, us and everybody else in the fucking country apparently got a dog, but, you know what the best part of getting a dog is? The best part of getting a dog is naming it, right? Dogs get fun names, right? Dogs get cute names. And on the contrary, I have to imagine that this is probably one of the tougher parts about having a kid, right? Hear me out. You always have to, there's this pressure to pay homage to past relatives and their boring-ass names, like fucking Gertrude or like, you know, Donald or something like that. What shit is that? And it's tough. I mean, think about it. You gotta find common ground with your spouse, right? You gotta something you can agree on, something that's maybe original, at least in your circles, right? Something that's not gonna get the kid made fun of, which is tougher than you think. Kids are a little creative these days. There's something on top of that flows, right? All the while, I mean, like, tossing out those definite no names from terrible past boyfriends and girlfriends and over-the-top sexual encounters, you know what I'm saying? Could you imagine for a moment, hear me out, as a father, having to discipline your little girl, your little angel, who happens to share the same name with the only woman that ever ate your ass, you know what I'm saying? It's a terrible, it's a nightmare scenario, isn't it? I mean, like, think about that. Don't you talk to me like that, Annabelle. You go to your room, you whore. And brush your teeth. You get a little, you know, you feel guilty getting a little chub every time she calls you daddy, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, there's a line right there, all right. The only thing worse than that has to be having a kid. You know, let's say you have a kid, it grows up, becomes self-aware. Let's say it chooses, he wants to become a comic, and you come to his first open mic, and he makes that joke. Welcome to my parents' nightmare scenario. They're right over there, everybody. Growing up, when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, my mom would always say to me, you know, Dr. Jones has a really nice ring to it. Yeah, Mom, what about ass-eating jokes on stage, Mom? Is that music to your ears? Just kidding, I love you, Mom. No, but I mean, anyway, speaking of over-the-top sexual encounters, my poor mother. No, I'm kidding, I'm not. But my roommate recently told me that he found that one of his high school friends likes to get pegged by his wife. Some of you know what I'm talking about before I get there. For those of you unfamiliar with the vernacular, according as defined by UrbanDictionary.com, pegging is when a woman sodomizes her man with a strap-on. Jarring, I know, jarring. But that got me thinking, how does that conversation come up? You know, who leads? You know what I'm saying? Like, does she make a big dinner? You know, like, you know, yeah, you know, we're gonna... Is it like every other woman who saves her best conversation talk for like 12 in the morning? My eyes are rolling back, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's just funny how, you know, I never get to hit it from behind. Anyway, no. No, but seriously, like I would love to be a fly on the wall for that conversation. Like, is it like a woman want to be a dom kind of a thing? A man, a submissive, you know? Is a finger in the butthole like a gateway technique for that? Like it just kind of just spirals, you know, like just gets way out of hand. Is it like a performance thing? Like, oh, you think this is so easy? You know? Back here thrusting. It's very tiring. Let me see you try. She fucking does, hits it out of the park. He's like, you know what? Pull the old change up. You know, it's incredible. You know? Do you think they shop for it? Like they're picking out a car, like reading reviews and shit? You know, like, oh look, honey, this one says it's the Toyota of strap-ons. It'll last forever. That shit'll be here forever. Do you think she gifts it to him, like, you know, like a guy would with jewelry, you know, like gift wrapped and shit? Like, oh, honey, you shouldn't have, you know? Or do you think she just like whips it out like pre-intercourse, you know, like you better learn today, you know what I'm saying? I just have so many questions, you know. That's not like a can you choke me more kind of a conversation. I've had that conversation, you know. Close yours, Mom. Yeah. You know, that's reasonable in today's day and age. If we're being honest, right? Right? That's reasonable. Pretending you want to asphyxiate your partner is reasonable. That, yeah, we're getting there, I guess. And don't, this is not me kink shaming. I'm not up here judging, okay? Do what you want in your sex life. This is me simply admiring an elite level of communication in a relationship. My girlfriend and I, we can't even talk about what we want to eat on a Friday night, let alone whether or not she wants to penetrate me, okay? Hey, thank you guys. I present my set.